why would a God who claims to be a loving God, or why would your God, whom you claim to be a loving God, do such a thing? These things that I've listed here, these cannot be acts that demonstrate love.
Why not?
Because they are going against what's good for us, what serves us.
How do you know?
Well, because I wouldn't want to be married to a prostitute who is leaving me every single day.
But just because you wouldn't want to, doesn't
but it's
mean
about
it's
my happiness.
It's
How can you tell me that you are happy? This is good for you when I'm crying every day.
well, if
I have to chain myself to my wife, to my prostitute wife, just so that she doesn't leave at night.
if I know better, then yeah, I can tell you that. No. Don't. You may not think it's the when you're raising a child, isn't it? And you're telling them to go to bed at a certain time, and they're like, no, I'm still playing, whatever. And you're like, no, it's bedtime. And they're like, oh, why do you hate me, whatever? No. You have to. I'm doing this because I love you. You need your sleep. Go to sleep. It's bedtime. Oh, but I'm still playing. Oh, I'm still having fun. No. Go to sleep. You see, if the child can say, "Oh no," but it's infringing on my human rights. That's being me. No.
That's all well and good.
But
we are talking about sleep. Right?
No.
So justify
I wasn't talking
that.
about sleep. I was talking about the concept of somebody imposing something on someone that they deem uncomfortable or hard or unpleasant is a good word, unpleasant, but for their benefit, and it being out of act of love.
Okay, let's talk about Hosea.
Hosea is a different case for me. I don't think he's a good example, but yeah, let's talk about him.
No. It's like, if you are saying it's not a good example, then there's no point talking about it.
No.
My question was
what you're gonna say. Yeah.
How was that good for him?
Well,
because you're saying that God knows better. This is good for you.
Yeah.
You may not understand why now, but this is good for you.
Yeah.
So how was that good for Hosea?
Well, and that's what I think Hosea is a different case, because Hosea was an object lesson. So God was doing that in order to teach the Israelites something and also to teach us something.
So if one was to say that, well, what kind of loving God do you serve who uses people and afflict them not for their own purpose, for the purpose of somebody else, then what are we saying? Because you are saying to me that Hosea's case was different. God used him as an object lesson for other people to learn a story, or for the prophecy of his people, for example, right? But there's a man of God there that's going through hardship, that's been a victim in the whole process of God trying to share his message.
Yeah. And that is the duty, honor, and privilege of Hosea, to serve as that vessel, as a prophet of God.
Going back to a blind obedience. Because in that particular...
Blind? No.
It's blind because you don't know why it's being done, and technically you can't question, and you're being forced into that situation, and you're saying this is the God we worship.
I'm wondering where to start, but it depends where you're going. So move on, and then we'll see where to start. But no, it's not blind obedience. It's think of Jesus, for example, is a good example.
Okay.
Right? Jesus was a vessel that God used in order to bring salvation to the world, and to do so, he had to crush him up until death. What you're saying is that just you turn around and say, what kind of God would crush me for the benefit of the world?
No.
Yes, a loving God would do that.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's my point.
What I'm saying is that people can turn around and say that what kind of God would crush his own son?
Yes, a loving God.
People?
For God so loved the world. So yeah, a loving God would do that. And this is the interesting.
Loved the world, not loved the son.
And this is the interesting thing, because they would say that to question the love of God, bypassing the fact that those actions alone are evidence of the love of God. Because if God did not have that much love, then he would not have done that. He would not have put his son through that if he didn't have that love. Likewise, I can liken it to even Hosea, for example. Let's say he would not have put Hosea through that trauma, through that heartache, through that pain, if he did not love his people enough to say that, you know what, I need them to understand this in a language that they can understand. What can they understand? They understand infidelity. They understand cheating. They understand prostitution. Okay, guys, listen to me. You are acting like prostitutes to me. And that's something that they can understand, because clearly he's trying to tell them, guys, keep my law, be holy, keep righteous. It's going over their heads. So he's saying, okay, how can I get them to understand it? And hence why the object lesson in Hosea comes in. So yeah, if who want to go down that route, that would be my response to say no. You have to understand that those actions alone are evidence of his love.
Do you know what I found really wild? When you're reading that Genesis verse, I think it's verse 1, God actually says, take now thy son, thine only son, Isaac, whom thou lovest.
Yeah.
Like, come on, G.
Yeah.
By name and everything. And actually says that the only son, and then puts a name on it, and then as the one that you love.
Yeah.
And go burn them at the stake.
What is struggling with that?
Wow. Okay.
What is
Let's move on slightly. So there's that aspect. So that aspect is just to capture